Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunix, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
That's me.
Yep, that is you. So we've been gone for a little bit, right, Grump?
Yeah, as I remember, you were a little sick or whatever your problem was last week.
That's correct.
So last week, and then you went and got married over the weekend. Right. So fiance Y is now known as wife Y.
Wife Y, Grumpy. Y. Locked up.
Oh, look at that! Nice little ring, X.
That's right. That is right. Yes. So we are back to our regular schedule program.
That's right.
All right, Grumpy.
That's right. Back to our regularly scheduled program. That's right.
That's correct. Let's get into some housekeeping before we start off. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment so we can juice up that algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. We want as many people as possible listening to this show. That would be great. If you guys do enjoy the content over here, want to go check out our other channel. We have the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. It's more of an all sports podcast. We usually have that show start every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go check us out over there if you enjoy the content over here. And we usually shoot to have this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We wanted to wait till the game ended tonight before we started, so it was just a little bit different. Anyway, Grumpy, lots happened since our last show.
Very true. We had what's happened next? Let's see if you've done any homework for the show today.
My homework has not been good. I'm not gonna lie.
So we had the West Coast swing.
Yes.
Which was Vegas, which was a win. Utah, the kick and goal win. Colorado, 4-1 loss. And the outplayed by Dallas lucky bounce through Ottinger win.
Yes.
And then the Islanders proceed to come home. Oh, no. Then they go to Detroit, and they absolutely destroyed Detroit.
Yes.
Detroit not ready to play. I watched that game, and let's just say that it looked like none of the Detroit guys had ever met one another.
Yeah.
Kept on skating into one another in the defense. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And that was and the Islanders dominating from start to finish. The Saturday, which was your wedding, I did not see the St. Louis game, but I will say that was it's a bad loss. I think they're either the second or third worst team in the league, and you lose at home 2-1. Then the Islanders absolutely carry the play and dominate. Seattle beat them 1-0, and then tonight losing to Boston 3-1. Where I thought the first two periods, I thought the Islanders had a slight advantage in the first. even up in the second, and the third period was one-way traffic for the Islanders. Jeremy Swayman was really, really good.
Yes. Yeah. Had some lucky saves too. Absolutely had some lucky saves.
No, he was really good today. He was really good.
Okay, the save off of his helmet was lucky. Let's be honest.
It
That was a lucky
hit him in
save.
the head.
Yeah, it's a lucky save. It's a lucky save. But no, he was really, really good today.
Okay.
Issue for us today, can't put the puck in the net.
Last 3 games against a bad St. Louis team, an okay Seattle team, and I know a team that you picked to win the Atlantic, the Boston Bruins. But I don't think they're that good a team. Matter of fact, they play a lot like the Islanders, actually, but they have a boatload of injuries. And we've got 2 goals in 3 games.
Yeah. Well, no, we have 3 goals.
2 goals. A shootout is not a goal.
Okay.
2 goals in regulation overtime play, 2 goals in 3 games. So, I mean, we can talk about the winning streak. It's funny because when people were in, oh my God, look, we beat these teams. We're the Stanley Cup. Sometimes it's hard to deal with fans. Just is. Because realistically, in that 4-game stretch, I'm not talking about the Rangers and Devils. I thought they deserved the Devils game could have went either way. I thought they deserved to beat the Rangers though. But the West Coast trip, they shouldn't have got any points. Not 1 point.
6.
And they got 6.
Yep.
Because they did not play well and they were thoroughly outplayed. The Utah game, that I can't believe that they let that kick-in goal go. You're penalizing the guy for trying to make a save when somebody blatantly kicked it towards the net. It deflects up off his stick and hits the top of the net, and that's a goal. Could you imagine if the Stanley Cup playoffs ended on something like that? Fans would be losing their minds. That rule needs to change. That rule needs to change. And I'd say the same thing if it was the Islanders trying to make a save. A guy, I mean, hey, I think it was Drouin. He just kicked it. He just took it, a soccer-style kick right at the net. I don't know who the defenseman was, reaches across just to flat. I mean, the thing was almost in the net, deflects up off his stick and goes in. That should have been a no-goal every day of the week.
Waved off.
Well, they called it
no. I was saying it should have been waved off.
Well, they called it no goal on the ice. Toronto overruled it.
Oh wow!
And said it was a goal. And not to put the Islanders played well in the overtime. It was all Islanders in overtime, but they didn't even deserve to get. They didn't even deserve to get to overtime.
Yeah,
they didn't. And then losing to the Blues, I didn't see the Blues game. Can't comment on it. That's a bad loss. You lose to a team like that. That's a bad loss. The Rangers even beat them tonight. Rangers beat the Blues tonight. And the Rangers never score at home, but they managed to score goals against them. But
they're really good away, though.
And Joey Decord was lights out good for Seattle. Lights out. I thought that was. I don't know if it was the best game for the Islanders this season, but it was close. They were really, really good. Well-deserved 2 points. I thought they were going to just get the one loser point till Horvat scores that goal. I think it was I don't know if it was the third shot, and then they went to the fourth one. But that was a great snipe by him. And then today, like I said, I thought
invisible. He was invisible today. I didn't even realize he was out there.
Okay, no, he's been shooting the puck, but he's not going to shoot 25% all year. He just isn't.
He's shooting like that though.
He's shooting the puck all the time, right? So he's getting a lot of shots, but he's not going to score like that. He's a career 13.5% shooter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to shoot 25%. You're just not. That's it. I mean, he was good tonight. I mean, it just shows that we're still lacking some high-end talent on the offensive side.
We just can't take advantage of the power play as well. That's a big
worst
thing.
Power play in the league.
Multiple opportunities tonight and could not finish. Couldn't do it.
I think Boston had 1 power play tonight. I think the Islanders had 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5. But they couldn't do anything. Nothing they could do. I mean,
and we did have the big news of the I don't know if you want to discuss this yet, the Romanov injury.
Yeah, we can talk about that, the Dallas game. I'm sure people have thoughts on that. I didn't think that was a dirty hit. I really didn't. It looked bad. It looked bad because of where Romanoff was. Romanoff was at the end line. Rantanen's coming in. They're down by a goal. And that's another game where they take a goal off the board at the last second where Dallas had tied it up, right? Like with point something seconds to go, and they take it off the board. I don't know. I don't understand what
we have that video as well, but
Okay.
let's look into the injury first.
Yeah.
Because I know you and me have kind of a little bit mixed opinions on this, just from our earlier discussion. So let's go ahead. You want to play it in full speed or slowed down?
You can play it at half speed. Well, you can play it on full speed because it looks really bad at full speed.
Okay.
It does look bad. Well, okay. You have to roll it back a little bit further. Here's the thing. He's being interfered and kind of tripped a little bit, Rantanen is, by Mayfield. He absolutely is.
And I'll say he absolutely is tripped. He absolutely is tripped by Mayfield. You can see there clearly he's tripped by Mayfield.
And Rantanen loses his balance.
Yes, I agree.
And he goes into
the issue that I have, though, if you look, the issue I have, there's no need for the extension. Here he can stop. Here he can stop.
He's flying. He's flying at that point.
He does not need to extend his arms. You do not need to extend your arms right here.
X, let me. When you fall, do you fall like this or do you fall like this?
Okay, I'm gonna let you know something. If I was falling, if I'm like this, I'm curling up like this when I'm falling. I'm not falling like this. I'm not falling like that. I'm not falling like that.
I remember when that puppy came into the yard and you just balled up. You just turtled up. I remember that.
You know what? I didn't fall like this to the ground. I didn't do that
because you're not a fighter.
I didn't do that. It was like he got knocked out. That's how his arms are sticking out. It's like he got knocked out.
Look at where he is. He's being tripped. You're just trying to get your hands up. Anytime you're falling, you're trying to get your hands up. Long story short, you know who else?
He's extending. He extended on him. Absolutely, he did.
He ran into him.
What's the purpose for the extension?
He's falling into him.
No.
Okay, I totally
There's
disagree.
no need for him to extend his arms there.
It's so bang bang. There's no premeditation there. There just isn't. It looks bad. But here's the thing. He hits him. Honestly, first contact right here. He's at the end line, and it looks bad because Romanoff didn't put his hands up. Stupid son of a bitch. So what happens? He tears his leg.
Because guess what? If he probably would have put his hand up, you want to know what his arm would look like? It'd be like an action figures that snapped the wrong way. That's probably what would have happened to his arm if he put his hand up.
But here's the thing. That's
broken his arms.
That's addition by subtraction being without Romanoff. Absolutely addition by subtraction.
I hate to say it, but I agree with you.
I mean, I sent you something, X, to the Twitter page, which you should be able to pull up. And there's Romanoff.
I can't pull it up. We already talked about this. Why would you bring that? We already discussed that. Why would you bring that up? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. He's already past him. He's already past him.
He extends on him. He extends on his back. You're wrong.
Not a dirty hit. Just not a dirty hit. And you know who else didn't think it was a dirty hit? The league, who reviews that stuff. You get a 5-minute like that, you're going to get suspension. I mean, that's just what happens. And he crashes in. It's one of those. It's an unfortunate incident. I feel bad for Romanoff. As shitty as he's been all year long, I still feel bad for him. I don't wish anybody injury, particularly guys on our team. But again, that's an interference by Mayfield that gets let go and not called. I mean, I don't want to go back.
He tripped him up. It was a trip, in my opinion. It was a trip.
So it just kind of, as particularly in slow-mo, it looks, in real speed, it looks really bad. It looks really bad in real speed. But when you slow it down, you kind of see the extenuating circumstances. That said, that's no loss. Not having Romanoff on your team is no loss. So kudos to the Islanders. Like I said, they did get 6 points on that West Coast trip. Congratulations. Every point counts because we're at Thanksgiving break, right? What happens? They say if you're in playoff position at Thanksgiving, you have a really good chance of making the playoffs. The only caveat that I had for that this year, which I don't like, honestly, is the fact that so many teams are all bunched up. Like the Islanders are now 4th in the Metro Conference. They're 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh, who has 2 games in hand, 1 point ahead of Philadelphia, who has 2 games in hand. Columbus is playing tonight. I don't know if they lost today or It's going to extras. I don't know. Let me see if they lost tonight.
I'm going to look it up here.
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah,
look it up.
look that up, please. It looks like they lost in overtime, but Columbus is 2 points behind the Islanders, same amount of games played, and the
Yes, they
Rangers are
lost
2
in
points
overtime,
behind.
2-1.
The Rangers are 2 points behind with an extra game played on the Islanders. So there's so many teams bunched up. I think you've seen a resurgence in Washington now. The Devils have kind of righted the ship a little bit after the Jack Hughes injury. He's going to be out upwards of 8 weeks, could miss another 20 some odd games.
By the way, did you know who was actually at that party, Grumpy?
Who?
One of your all-time favorites, Frank the Tank, was there at the party.
Something. I don't know what the injury is. They're being real secretive. I thought maybe
I think they said that he cut his hand with a knife.
Yeah, maybe what would they do? I mean,
that's what they had said, was that he cut his hand with a knife. That's what I'd heard.
Did he get too close to Frank the Tank? You know, he's using that cutlery.
Maybe Frank was going on a rant and ended up cutting him. That might have been what happened.
I thought maybe he was eating, sparks flying off those utensils.
Oh my God. You're awful. You're awful. Did you want to see the interference waved off goal?
Sure.
This is from the Dallas game.
Yeah. This was right at the tail end when the Islanders almost blew a 2-goal lead like in the last minute and a half, last 3 minutes.
Show you here.
Watch Robertson's in front.
Okay, now he's being pushed in. Now that's absolutely interference by Kulak pushing him in there, right?
Watch Robertson's in front.
He's being pushed in, and
Ryan's trying to
catch up. They pull the goal off the board. Now here's the thing: if they had not called it a goal on the ice, I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with them overruling it and taking it off. Because to me, he absolutely pushed Robertson into the goalie. He did.
The contact is initiated by Kulak.
So to me, that makes it a good goal. Now, unless you call it a no goal on the ice, okay, then it is what it is. Again, another overrule by Toronto.
In favor of the Islanders.
In favor of the Islanders. I mean, not in favor. It's just an
It's
overrule.
in favor. They benefited from it.
Okay, but
it's in favor.
Okay, I'm not playing the TJ game. Okay? I'm not going to play the TJ game where the league wants the Islanders to win. I'm not playing that. Okay.
Conspiracy Theory X over here absolutely thinks the league wants the Islanders to be well. Why? The new face of the league, Schaefer.
No.
Yes.
No.
He will take the league by storm, Grumpy. You watch.
That being said, that should have been the goal. The game should have went to overtime, and who knows what would have happened. But like I said, Ottinger gave up goal. It comes off the backboards, somehow slips through him right to Horvat. That was the last goal that he scored in regulation for a gimme right in front of the net. I don't even know how it went through Ottinger off the backboards. He's looking there, the field, it goes right through. I'm like, what the? Terrible. Just terrible. But I thought, like I said, on that West Coast trip, I thought the Islanders, I'd rather that the Islanders play like they did today, particularly in the third period, and against Seattle, and lose a game as opposed to win when you're being outplayed and dominated. Not because of points, because winning games you should lose is not sustainable. It just isn't. But when you're working hard and you're dominating, okay, you're not getting a bounce here and there. You're going to get those bounces.
Eventually, yes, you will.
That's right. Because you're outplaying the other team. It didn't happen tonight. A game the Islanders, particularly the third period, was one-way traffic. 18 saves by Swayman in the third period.
Yeah, I think the Islanders played very well today. Just couldn't find the back of the net. It's a shame, but I even said to you, I feel like I didn't watch them last year, but just by the way you described them, I feel like the culture of the team has changed. And just from what Matt Barzal said, they did like a little snippet from an interview that he had. And he's like, we're winning games. That's all we care about is keep winning. Whereas from what you had told me, it was more so like they were just trying to get through the season. They didn't really care whether they won or lost.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they're all in.
You look at the first goal tonight. You look at the only goal tonight, Barzal, right? A nice play by Schaefer. Intercepts the puck at the blue line. Yep. Bang. Right up the ice he comes. And he makes a nice pass to D'Angelo, who also makes a nice pass to Barzal. And
the fake shot pass, yep.
It was the only time that Swayman got deked or faked out the whole game.
It was a beautiful goal too.
It was
Beautiful.
a total skill goal by Matt Barzal.
Yep. And it all started with Schaefer gloving the puck down.
That's right.
Absolutely did.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely did. 100%.
And did you see the celebration? He comes over and he jumps on top of Barzal.
Yep.
I mean, that's the infectiousness that he's brought to the team. He's
the GM.
difference.
In the GM.
The GM has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. And when was the last time the GM put a pair of skates on? 15,
I don't know. He did play.
Ago? A long time ago. So he has nothing to do with it. Just like coaches.
He drafted that kid.
A monkey could have drafted him. You'd have to have been a moron not to draft him.
I know somebody who wouldn't have drafted him.
Generational talent. Generational talent. The Islanders need another player like that. At least one more, right? Fill in with ancillary pieces. You get a couple like Colorado, right? Colorado's only lost one game in regulation all year long. One game.
They're good.
Who do they have? McKinnon,
McCarr.
Generational talents, and they fill in around them, right? I mean, that's what you have.
Which is kind of interesting why the Oilers haven't been able to do it.
Because they don't have a defenseman.
Okay,
they don't have a defenseman.
Yeah.
That's their problem.
Well, they don't have a goalie, but
yeah.
I mean, I think that's their weak link because they don't have a goalie, but
right. But their defense is not really good either.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Draisaitl and McDavid. And they're dynamic together, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But
honestly, the best pair, like the best probably offensive pairing in the league.
But what does Edmonton do during the regular season? They break them up.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, that tells me the rest of your lineup isn't that good. If you feel you have to break them up because they're so dynamic together, I'd much rather keep them on the ice. I don't know how many. What do you figure you get? Like maybe 20 shifts a night? You might score 5 goals on 20 shifts because those guys are just so good together. But, hey, you do what you got to do. I mean, we're not here to talk about Colorado.
No.
As good as they are. But just talking about the Islanders, we need more high-end talent.
Yes, we need more goal scorers. Yeah.
So, like I said, at the quarter poll, and it always says, where you are at Thanksgiving determines, if you're going to make the playoffs. Okay? If the playoffs were tomorrow, the Islanders I believe they would make the playoffs. Let me just look real close. The Islanders would make the playoffs. If they started tonight, the Islanders would make the playoffs. That being said, it's still worrisome to me that when you look around the league, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the league that have losing records. Only 5 teams in the whole league who have losing records. There are a couple who are 500. And when I say losing record, I mean, like 9, 10, and 5. That's a losing record. 10, 10, and 2 is not a losing record to me. TJ always felt that was a losing record. I don't look at that as a losing record. And look where Montreal is. Yikes. Down at the bottom.
Yeah, Montreal.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're not at the bottom. My bad. Buffalo's.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Panthers struggling a little bit. I mean, but you got to figure they're going to right the ship.
They'll bounce back. They will bounce back.
Sabres are not going to make it. Do you think the Maple Leafs are going to wind up being the worst team in the division when all is said and done?
No.
Probably not. But I'm going to tell you what.
It'll be Buffalo.
Yeah, but the seats got to be getting a little bit warm under Craig Berube, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
10-10
with the talent they have on that team, yeah.
Yeah, 10-10-3 going into the Thanksgiving break is not good. And then you look at the Metro, Carolina's Carolina.
Yep. Devils are playing well.
The Devils are ahead of them now with 31 points. The Capitals are ahead of the Islanders based on goal differential or regulation wins. They're ahead of them in the standings. Pittsburgh, like I mentioned, 2 games in hand on the Islanders, only a point back. The Flyers, 1 point behind again with 2 games in hand. Even
the Rangers
Columbus.
Just visible.
And there's the Rangers, last place, and they're only 2 points behind the Islanders. I mean, you look at it, the Islanders are 2 points out of last place, and scroll up a little bit, and 3 points out of first place. That's why I'm like, maybe it doesn't hold water this year like it has in the past. There's usually some separation.
That division, the Metro division is extremely close right now.
East.
Yeah.
The whole East.
Yeah. It's not like you have one team that's just running away.
I mean, honestly, just scroll up to the East, right? You could say, if it wasn't Toronto, a little bit further down. A little bit. If you could say, if it wasn't Toronto, you would say, man, Toronto has no shot of making the playoffs at 23 points. Yeah. The Sabres, you're writing them off. Everybody else there is like within a whisker of one another as well. So, like I said, it's just a weird year for me, the way I look at it. Just a weird kind of year.
We can look at the West if you'd like.
The most concerning thing to the Islanders right now is they're not scoring.
Yep.
And I always thought, like last week's show, I was going to call it smoke and mirrors because I thought we were winning games with smoke and mirrors. But things have gotten kind of worse. Everything is not as great as it seems or as bad as it seems, right? So last week, everything's great. Islanders, oh my God, we're going to win a Stanley Cup. We're going to win the division. Pump the brakes. Have you seen how they played? And like I said, you look at the last few games, Detroit dominating win. Detroit were terrible that game. But you see Detroit now doing what Detroit always does, right? They tail out at the end. Then St. Louis game, didn't see it, can't comment on it, but bad loss. Cannot lose to St. Louis. Seattle, who historically plays as well, they were coming off the second half of a back-to-back, as was the Islanders, but they're on the road. And it was a
little bit different, being on the road.
It was a short thing. It was a 5 o'clock the next day, and they're halfway across the country from where they are. That was a tough game for them. Islanders thoroughly dominated, had to win that game. They did. And then tonight, Boston on the last game of a 4-game road trip, the toughest road trip they're going to have this year. And I thought the game was pretty even the first 2 periods, a little advantage to the Islanders first, maybe a little bit to Boston in the second, and the third period, one-way traffic for the Islanders. But Swayman was really good. DeCord was really good. Don't know what Binghamton did. Okay? But, hockey's a funny game. But I will say that if going into the season, if you asked me if the Islanders were going to be in position to make playoffs come Thanksgiving, I would have said no. I absolutely would have said no. The difference is Matthew Schaefer. That's the difference. Look at
how many. Now, let me ask: how many points alone do you think he has brought the team?
6.
At least. So you think he's at least won 2 games on his own?
3.
Oh, 3 games. Okay.
He does. Okay. Every time. It's the little things. It's the little things he does. X. I think I elevate him to my number 1 defenseman in the NHL.
You said you thought that he was going to possibly be the number 1 defenseman of all time.
Well, I'm saying right now. No, I'm saying right now.
Okay.
That he's
yes. You think that he's the number 1 defenseman over Cale Makar? Yes.
Because he plays defense.
Yes.
Today, on a power play, the Islanders had in the third period. Guy gets his stick a little bit, a weak pass across, turnover, 2-on-1, shorthanded coming back the other way. And he
tried to make the slide. Yeah, he tried to make the slide on it. And honestly, it was just, I don't know who that player was for the Bruins, but that was a phenomenal deke that he had.
He waited. He did a nice job just holding it when he went down, and then he's able to saucer it. But you saw Matt Barzal hustling back. Where was Bo Horvat? Floating his ass back. He floated back. He wasn't. If he would have continued digging hard, he had a chance to stop that guy when he slows up like that to make that.
And the game's a little bit different. Yeah. I mean, we didn't end up scoring a goal even with, having an extra skater on for almost 4 minutes,
but 3-1 is different than 2-1.
Correct.
Particularly when you pull the goalie with 4.5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So, and that's where a lot of shots came in that period of time. But maybe I think 9 or 10 in that last 4.5 minutes.
Yep.
But he was up to the test. But here's the thing that Boston did really well. They kept mostly everything to the outside.
Yeah, even the announcers were saying that, they pretty much had everything in the middle clogged. Nothing could come through the middle.
They did a nice job. They have that Charlie McAvoy, their best defenseman, out. and two of their other starting forwards out. I mean, so they're
And they lost a
obviously,
forward today too.
and they lost a forward today. He wasn't a top 6 guy, but
But
still
still,
they
you're
played.
playing. You know,
They played
you're
with
playing a
11
guy
forwards.
down. Yeah.
There was a guy. Gosh, I don't remember his number. His last name started with a B. I thought he had a good game for them. I mean, Boston they play like the Islanders play in that regard. It's all about effort because they're not super skilled, so they have to work real hard and grind it out.
Talk about Blummel.
No, it wasn't Blummel.
Matej Blummel.
No,
That's the only guy on their team whose last name started with a B that played.
Somebody with a
tonight.
49. Maybe his name was 49. First name starts with
They
a
didn't have a
J.
49. They didn't have a 49 who played.
Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm talking
47.
What? Okay, who was 47?
Mark Kastelik.
No, it wasn't Kastelik.
Jonathan Aspirat.
Yeah, he's the guy. He was really good
45.
for them today. He
Yeah.
was really good for them today. I thought he played really well for them today. He's not a great player, but he played well for them today. You want to know who else is cooling off for the Islanders that I need to tell you? The fourth liner.
I was going to say Henneman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Has. Yeah.
I mean, he does what he does. He's a north-south guy. He throws the body. He's going to generate chances just being physical on the line like that. He's just not a first-line player. His goals are drive. At the end of the year, he'll probably have maybe 15 goals, right? If he's on the first line all year long, your team's not that good. That's just what I like to say. He's not that good. Simon Holmstrom, been invisible lately.
Let me ask, are you worried at the current state of the team now about it affecting the upcoming draft?
In what regards? Like, are we going to do something stupid like trade draft picks to pick somebody up?
So I will say, yeah, we'll have two different questions. Yes, on that. And then also the next question would be, put ourselves in a position where now we have less of a chance to win the draft lottery.
Okay. I don't think we're going to win the draft lottery.
I already told you we're not going to. And I told you who's going to win it.
I understand.
But no, I'm saying, but obviously you want to give yourself more odds to win. You want to have more balls in the pot.
I'll put it to you this way. There's nothing I've seen this year that says to me we should change what direction the team is going in. I don't want to see some type of Band-Aid to try to squeak into the playoffs. Absolutely not.
Which we've done in the past.
Lamoriello did every year.
Yes.
That's why you wouldn't be in the situation you're in right now if you would. I just don't believe in trading first-round draft picks unless your team is Florida last year or Tampa for the last number of years or Vegas or Dallas, teams that are right at the top and are real contenders for a Stanley Cup, favorites.
You have the future of your team at the age of 18. You need to do as much as you can to build and get players who are going to come up with him, be ready to come in around him.
As good as we think their draft has been, we don't know.
Until they until they actually, I guess, get to the point where they can make it up with the big team. You're never going to know.
Not everybody pans out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put not everybody pans out. It's just that plain and simple. So that's
why they're called prospects.
That's right. They're prospects till they're not, is what I like to say. And that's why you need more prospects, because our pool is, we got some potentially high-end guys, but at the end of the day, they're not all going to work out. They're just not.
You want to get as many chances as you can.
So you're
have somebody come up. Yep.
If we were Colorado, now Colorado has already traded their first round pick to us from last year. If you're Colorado, yes, I'm saying we're really good this year. Let's burn that first round pick moving forward. Absolutely. No problem at all with that. But where the Islanders are right now, I don't want to see that. Now you're hearing rumblings. Oh, well, Matthew Darche is looking around maybe to pick up a right shot defenseman to play with Matthew Schaefer. And,
think of a free agent. There we go.
I'm
Problem
just
solved.
like,
If you really want to do that, get a free agent.
It's not about this year for this team. It's not about this year.
They're not going to win anything.
I mean,
the point for you to play is to win the Stanley Cup. You don't play to come in second. You don't play, hey, we won division. Hey, we made the playoffs. Who cares? You play to win the cup.
Here's the caveat. If Elias Pettersson, for instance, or a Tage Thompson, or a young guy, a guy who's 24 years old, 23 years old, if they become available and you have to burn a first-round draft pick, and let's say a Keyshawn Aitchison, I'm a yes for that. Why?
Established talent.
Those guys are locked up in their contracts for a number of years, and they're still really young.
Yep.
Maybe they need now. Pettersson's been pretty good this year, but Thompson's been a little bit down. But I mean, he's still a really good player for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'd take him on our team.
Especially a team like Buffalo, who's going to struggle, who by the end is going to be last in their division, who's going to need extra draft picks to try and, rejuvenate the team.
Buffalo's just a loser.
Yeah. There's certain teams that are like that. Yeah.
They traded Dylan Cousins last year.
Somebody went through all of the players. I saw some, maybe it was on Spit and Chicklets, but they did something where they went through all of the players that Buffalo had since, like, I want to say it was 2018. And they had a loaded roster if they would have kept everybody, and they just let everyone go.
They're just poorly run. They're a poorly run organization.
They're like the Browns.
That's the nicest thing I can say. They're poorly run.
They're like the Browns.
Like the Browns. Yeah. So that's my caveat. If it's a young guy who, like, Jacob Chikrin was traded to Washington 2 years ago. 24, 25 years old at the time. That's the type of guy. Okay, yes, I'm willing to move a first-round pick for a guy like that. He's already established. He's young. He can grow with the rest of your team. I'm willing to do that.
Yep.
Because these guys are established. But I'm not going after a guy who's, 28, 29, 30.
Who's never going to be up when your team is in full gear. He won't be around.
Or just to fill a spot because you have an injury.
Yep.
Well, you know what? That's even a better reason. Another thing in my theory is you don't trade those picks because you don't have anyone in your system that could even come up and fill a spot.
Yep. So let's say he gets hurt. Then what are you going to do? Trade another pick?
Or let's say, God forbid, Matthew Schaefer gets hurt. And here's the big thing for me. Let's say he hits the wall at some point in time after 60 games. He just kind of out of gas. Plays 25 minutes a night every night.
Yeah.
I mean, every single situation he's out there. And
I'll say it's the young lungs, though.
He's not Horvating it out there, loafing all over the place. He's busting his ass.
Yeah.
Let's say he hits the wall. Where's this team then? You see what I'm saying? Because he's been infectious for the whole team. There's more jump in the organization because of him. It's that.
I'll say the whole culture, even the fans.
It was just like when Bobby Orr came into the Boston Bruins. I'm not saying he's Bobby Orr, even though
you've said it in the past. You said
he looks similar to his playing style, very, very similar. He's so good. He's so good defensively, and you wouldn't think it at 18 years old. You wouldn't think that. And he's dynamic offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who he was paired with. I mean, the defense pairs were kind of jumbled up a little bit. I mean, so Pulak with Pelech, well, that's a disaster. He should just be playing with Pulak, honestly, at this point in time. I think Waugh kind of jumbled up, or maybe just because of the situation. I don't know, just for ice time. But to me, I don't want to where Matthew Schaefer has to play offense and defense. He needs to have a steady partner back there who handles the load, carries the load defensively to let him do what he does best, which is create.
I saw him out there with Tony DeAngelo. Was that
not Tony DeAngelo?
Was that just during during power play?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're on different power plays. Tony DeAngelo used it on the second power play. Adam Boqvist is what he is.
Yeah.
Disastrous out there. defensively. I think he'd be a better forward, honestly. I've said that before on the show. But, where are they going with him? I mean, he's your fill-in for Romanov. What's the difference? Romanov was the worst, analytics-wise, the worst player in the league this year. The worst.
I'm sorry, Grumpy. I did not have that to pull up. I know you did send it to me or through a text message. Yes. Yes. He was analytically the worst player.
Worst player in the league at the time of the injury. Worst player. We'll have that for the next show. I guarantee we'll have that for the next show because I do have him on text, but X can't figure anything out. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Sorry.
So we'll have that next week. It's not to bury Romanov. It's what he's always been. Horrible. But he had
which makes the contract even worse, right?
Well, it was a stupid contract to begin with.
Yeah.
It was a dumb contract. And that's a Darsh error. That's a big E for Darsh. Big error. Unforced error. You didn't need to give him that contract. Didn't need to do it.
I agree. I think that was a panic decision. Honestly, I think it was a panic decision, partly on his side, and then also I think it was maybe from ownership. I think it was potentially an ownership decision too, saying we need to lock somebody in.
It's like we're losing Dobson.
Yep.
Let's make sure we lock up Romanov because
exactly.
And Romanov only looked good, or he looked as good as he did because he was teamed up with Dobson. Because look at Dobson. He's a shutdown guy in Montreal now. The shutdown pairing, him and Matheson. They're out there in all the tough minutes. Every single one of them. In the tough minutes, you ever see Romanov out there? Nope. Pulak, Pelican, Mayfield. Not Romanov.
Well, we're not going to see him out there at all.
Because he sucks. And now we're not going to see him out there at all. Like I said, addition by subtraction with his injury. J.G. Pajot getting hurt is something different altogether, though.
Yeah.
You're seeing Callum Ritchie on the third line now. He's not really ready. He's not really ready. I would have much rather.
He looked kind of lost out there tonight.
Well, he's 21.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. Okay, well, you can say age. I mean, Schaefer don't look lost out there, and he's younger than him. I'm just saying. Okay, he's not as good.
Yeah, Schaefer's a generational talent.
I understand that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying Callum Ritchie's not as good as Schaefer's, but he looked lost out there tonight. He did. He did.
I'm not saying he looks lost. I'm just saying he would have benefited from more time in Bridgeport. I would have much rather left him in Bridgeport, play him in every single situation when you move Pajot at the deadline, which you should still do. I don't want to see any ridiculousness where, we could make a run for the last playoff spot to get a shit kicked out of us by Carolina again.
There's no point to do that.
That's right. So at the deadline, you move Pajot, you move Lee, even though he has been invisible for the most part this year. Those are guys you must move at the deadline. There is no excuse to keep either guy on your team after the trade deadline. Zero.
Agreed. Do you think that his injury now will affect his value, though?
It depends on how long he's out.
Yeah.
It depends how long he's out. But he was doing okay. But for the Islanders situation right now, I think that I'm not saying it certainly it hurts them.
Yeah.
In regards to because everyone has to step up a notch. And I just don't think we have enough guys to step up. We were playing well because we had no injuries. Now we got a couple injuries. All of a sudden the scoring's dried up. See what I mean? That's, when you have no injuries, everything's great. Every team in the league, there's been a lot of injuries this year. The Islanders were kind of immune to that till the last week. Now they got two guys hurt. Yep. One guy out long term. Probably
out for 5 to 6 months, what they said.
So that's probably rest of the year.
Yeah. Yep. Very well could be.
Yeah. Okay. Did we want to jump into the ad read, Mr.
Yes,
X?
you can. Then we'll hit up some comments after.
Okay. So, X is going to hit the comments.
45-17.
Okay. Let me just jot that down. 5. Okay. Our first one is from DraftKings. Turkey touchdown and takes its Thanksgiving, and the action doesn't stop at the dinner table. Feast on some winnings this holiday with Pick 6, DraftKings' newest pick'em game. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. It's that simple. Pick 6 brings you upside that other pick'em sites can't touch. The better you perform, the bigger your payout. And it's available in most states, including Texas, California, Georgia, and more. So I guess there's like a lot of states, right? Yep. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN New DraftKings customers can pay just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. So that was our first. That's the Pick 6 ad read. And now we're going to jump right into the our regular DraftKings ad.
47.
Okay. Spinoramas, Michigan goals, a sprawling save across the crease. Live and breathe all the highlight moments with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sports app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, not HOPE-NY, HOPE-NY, 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, though, right? If you were going to be betting $5,
and you get like, what was it, 250 or 300?
Yeah, you do like a real simple bet, like Islanders lose to Boston. They got swept this week, right? So, you look at that. That's a pretty good bet. You get the $200. I mean, that's pretty good gig, no?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Let's jump into some comments here, Mr. X.
Let's get to some comments.
Mr. Married X.
That's right.
Goon says, the Islanders power play back to stinking. Grumpy, is your water bottle supply shrinking? You want to know who filled up the water today, X?
Little baby.
Not the little baby. Even though she certainly does a better job than you do.
Oh, Warden filled it up.
Warden filled up the water today.
I heard the Warden also did something else today.
She did. I don't know. I don't want to embarrass her on the show, but she locked herself in the shed. I don't know.
It happens. That happens to the best of us. It happens.
It never happened to me.
Yeah.
All I'm saying,
not yet.
When I die, she's going to have to move in with you or TJ, and you're going to have to put one of those little leashes on her, so she doesn't get lost. God. Thomas Antonetti says, "Happy Thanksgiving, gents. All the best to you and the family always." Yes.
Thank you.
Everyone. We're going to do that on our sign off, but everyone knows Happy Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday of the year, honestly. Now,
good food, good people.
Son X, are you going to be at the Grumpy Estate for Thanksgiving?
I will not be at the Grumpy Estate for Thanksgiving.
Here's what I think. X knows he's getting a free meal somewhere else, and he's still going to get a free meal on Sunday. That's 2 free meals this week for you, X.
Hey, I'm going to double dip. You know what that's called? Being smart. Oh, sorry. That's called being smart. Not dumb like people say. It's called being smart.
That's right, Fredo.
That's right.
Thomas Anthony says, "Gents, do you feel the real or true version of this season's team is the 6-1 Road Warriors or the 1-2 fledgling homestand team?" I think they just are what they are. They're a team that's going to be maybe in the mix for a playoff spot, one of the last ones, and a first-round exit.
Yep.
Because
they've been every year that they've made the playoffs for the last number.
Yeah, they're not going to – they don't match up against the good teams in the league.
Carolina.
And they can't be Carolina, period.
Can
Period.
never beat Carolina.
Period.
And it used to be
Never
Tampa before that.
Never beating Carolina.
Yep.
Never beating Carolina. Carolina just too good.
Yep.
Just too that they just Carolina's Carolina. I'm not saying Carolina's going Stanley Cup, but
they can never win because they're too soft. And in the playoffs, the play gets a little bit more aggressive, and they don't have the players to match up. That's why they lose.
They win the early rounds.
Yeah, they do. Because they're really talented. But then as soon as they come against a team that's a little bit more physical, that still has some talent on it, they end up losing every year.
I'll tell you what, Thomas Antonetti gets a lot of run with Sun X at the trigger. I'm going to say that.
I give everybody run.
Well, I'm just saying, TJ hit his favorites and X has his favorites.
I like to let everybody's voice be heard on this show.
I understand, X.
Hey, you're watching, you're getting your comment up. You're commenting, you're getting your comment up.
Thomas Antonetti says, in light of the injuries to Romanov and Pajot, do you see Darsh pulling a trigger on a trade prior to the deadline, giving the standings at this time? I
hope not.
Okay. I guess I look at it. The only type of trade that I'm interested in seeing, if you want to make a trade, is for a young guy who has the potential to be part of the core. I don't want to see a patch job where you're giving up draft picks to get somebody. Oh, well, we need somebody to fill in defense, so maybe we can squeak into the playoffs. I don't care about this year standing wise. I've been upfront about that. Absolutely not.
With how deep the draft is next year, I would much rather them pick up a free agent than go out and trade for somebody.
Well, but you're not going to get a free agent in season, right? You're not going to get a free agent in season.
You don't think there's anybody available?
No, anybody who's worth anything is playing already.
I'm saying you don't think there's a guy that's like on the cusp?
No. That's why not having anyone in your system to come up to fill in is what hurts you.
True.
That's why you don't trade draft picks, because you have no one in your system. We have some younger guys, but they're not close to making the team. They're at least 2-3 years away. Maybe Danny Nelson in 2 years will be available, will be ready to play. Maybe Cole Iserman in 2 years. Maybe Victor Eklund in 3 years. I mean, it takes time for these. Remember, they're boys when they're drafted. They're teenagers.
Young. They're
not ready. Schaefer is an anachronism. You don't see that.
He's an anomaly.
You don't see that. Celebrini. Okay, he's better than Celebrini in my opinion. And I'm not putting down Celebrini. I just think Schaefer's phenomenal. He's the most talented player, most gifted player the Islanders have had ever in their franchise history. Ever. Most gifted player. Not best player, most gifted with his ability to do what he does. You could say Potvin, you could say Bossy, Trottier, whatever. This kid is more physically talented than anyone. LaFontaine was great. Barzell. This kid's more talented than all of them. Doesn't make him the best hockey player. Oh boy, I don't know what 99% is, but that's pretty damn good, I think, X.
I think another member, ex-member of the show posted this up. It's just showing he's the top pair. His, I guess, evaluation on offense is 85%, defense is 98%, power play is 96%, penalty kill is 19%, finishing is 99%, goals he's 39%. He's first assist 54, penalties 100. This says 3-year weighted average data percentile ranking among defensemen's cap data from Puckopedia is what it's saying.
Okay, so, I don't know what any of this means, but I see that 99%. I think that's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think it says that he's like the top defenseman. It says 3-year weighted average.
He's phenomenal.
Is what they took the stats from.
He's phenomenal. So, I mean, enjoy this kid while you have him.
Yep.
And I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't mean that, but I mean, this is like we're seeing a Cale Makar, a Quinn Hughes
in the making. Yes.
On our team right now. The whole franchise has been invigorated by this kid, his enthusiasm for the game. Now, Is he always going to be this enthusiastic? No, he's not, because he's 18. When he's 26, he's probably not going to be jumping in everybody's arms after every time a goal is scored. It just, you kind of get that been there, done that thing after a while. But he's just infectious to the organization. X, I think you should get the 48 jersey for yourself.
I think I need to.
I think so.
I need to get it.
I was thinking maybe you get a different jersey number, but I think he's going to stick with that 48. I don't like the 48. I just don't.
You don't think he'll ever get a new one?
You know what number he should have had? Number 4.
I thought you were going to say number 99.
No, number 4.
Like Wayne Gretzky.
No, number 4, like Bobby Orr. Number 4.
All right, then X Pun says, "Hello, boys, everyone. What's up? What's up?"
Googling says, "Can the Islanders simply play the rest of their games on the road?" Son X, can you help Grumpy carry the load? X, you think you can help me carry the load on this? Now the water's filled up. I bet you X makes a pit stop over here before he leaves tomorrow. Oh, hi. Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving. Oh, hold on. Is that some Mountain Dew in the refrigerator or some that?
Hey, just want to say happy Thanksgiving. I know I got a huge bag over here. Let me just load up some stuff real quick.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
Hey, work smarter, not harder. That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's what he does. Wasteland of Destroyed. Wasteland of Destroyed. Should have been Wasteland of Destruction, don't you think? Okay. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Rantanen for inadvertently improving the Islanders' defense. He did.
Oh my God.
Addition by subtraction.
That's funny. You
will not hear me ripping on Romanoff the rest of the year, except for next show when we put up those stats that show just how truly bad he was. Matthew Sklarov says, "Good evening, gents. Frustrating loss tonight." Yeah. That said, this is a game, and honestly, we should have won.
Yeah, I agree. I think we outplayed Boston for certain. I think we absolutely
did. Third period. It was like one-way traffic. And just like if we would have lost the Seattle game, would have been distressing. But like I said, then you look, and that's what I keep on saying to everyone. It's like, okay, we lost some games we should have won. We won quite a few games we should have won.
Yeah. And I feel, that we're not the only team that happens to. That happens to everybody. Some games you get lucky, some games you don't.
Yeah.
It just happens. That's just sports. And then if you're another team for another sport, you might have some help involved. But we'll leave that for Sunday.
Goon says, Sonex, congrats on marrying wife Y at the wedding. Did TJ wear a tie? He did. And you want to know what? Now, this is going to be hard for people to understand. TJ, he had a couple little liquid libations, if you will. He was up there dancing around.
He did. He was dancing.
He was to get TJ to dance.
Good thing. Wife Y's parents got some insurance on that dance floor because I think he put a couple of cracks in it.
Oh, that's not true.
I just played.
How was my dancing X? Would you say?
It was pretty good. People were getting hyped. Hyped.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I got a lot of cheers for those dances. Actually.
Yeah, you're doing. What was the dance you were doing?
Well, I they hand out like these little things, so I was like playing. I was doing
these little things. They were like lighted
sticks, like sticks. You see, like the guys waving the, the guys on the ground crew.
Yes, correct.
Matthew Sklarov says, "Congrats, X."
Thank you.
Joe TB says, "Any Islanders fan complain about the start of the season, go to hell." Yeah, I don't think anyone.
They played really. They've well exceeded my expectations.
I never thought they were going to be this good, and I thought
they were going to be awful.
It's
the way Grumpy sold me on the team, I thought they were going to suck. I thought we'd maybe have like 3 wins.
No, that's not true. 3 wins, but let's say without 48, this team is nowhere near. They're nowhere near where they are in the standings right now. We're 4th in division, which is, I think that's best you can hope for. If the team, selfishly, I don't want the team to do well this year just because I think it helps the future. I don't want a team that just scuffles around every year. I want more talent.
Just trying to be the last team to make it in the playoffs, then get eviscerated in the first round. Yeah, no.
I'd rather be a team like Carolina or even look at Anaheim. Look at Anaheim. They have a mix of, they have some guys who are in their 30s. They have 10 players who start on that team who are some of their best players are under the age of 24. They were bad for a number of years, but you know what they did? They drafted really, really well. San Jose.
They got 29 points through 22 games, leading the Pacific Division.
And you look at San Jose, right? Were they worst or second worst record? Maybe second worst record in the league last year.
Last year, yeah.
Worst. Or the
I
worst,
think they were the
worst record in the league last year.
Yes. They were all abysmal.
And they the last number of years, they traded guys off, brought in some salary cap dumps, lost in the free agency, whatever, offloading guys, loading up on draft picks. Look what they're at now.
25 points through 23 games with a total record of 11, 9, and 3.
Right? All young guys growing together. That's sometimes you got to take your lumps for a couple of years, but you look at
then you almost build a dynasty.
That's right.
Is what you want to look to do. You want to look, okay, we're going to suck and be really bad for the next 3 to 4 years, but guess what? After that, we're going to be really good for the next 5. We're going to be in contention for a cup for the next 5. Not just, oh, we made the playoffs. Woohoo. Great.
You look at Utah, right? Formerly Arizona. They've been selling off for years. All of a sudden, all their draft picks, they're starting to come in. They get the ownership group that they moved to Utah, and they're not afraid to spend a little bit of money now. They make wise investments on younger players like Sergachev. And all of a sudden you see, man, they've turned it around in just a couple of years. Because
27 points through 23 games, 12, 8, and 3.
And are they a team that I say, oh man, they're Stanley Cup contenders? No, they're not, but they're way better than they've ever been.
And they're moving in the right direction.
That's right. And they're young.
That's what you want to do.
I don't want to see a guy like, Philip Hronek brought in here for a first round pick. I don't care about him. I don't care about veteran defensemen.
We're looking towards the future.
If you want to do that in the offseason, you want to make a wise investment on a defenseman, I'm fine. They could have had Mike Riley. They could have re-signed Mike Riley to the team. He'd certainly be better off than anybody else they got. Who got him? Carolina. And again, here's the thing. I'm leery of anybody who Carolina deems as not willing to re-sign because they turn out to be shit everywhere else they go. Defensively, when it comes to defensemen, Carolina is the best in the league at taking defensemen and making them be as good as they can be. Shane Gotchespierre looks like a legitimate player on Carolina. That guy never seen a puck he'd want to kick into his own net. And all of a sudden on this team, he's phenomenal. Keandre Miller, look at how good he's been. Jacob Slavin. They let go of Pesci and Shea. And how have they been on Devils and Nashville, respectively? They ain't done anything, but they were stalwarts for Carolina. Carolina knows what they're doing with defensemen. They turned over that defense core in a year. In a year, they got the Niskin kid, and they got Keandre Miller, young Keandre Miller. He looks like he's a future all-star the way he plays for Carolina. They know what they're doing. Their system breeds good defensemen, but that doesn't mean they play well for everybody else. Matthew Sklarov says, faced Binnington, Decord, and Swayman at the top of their game. Swayman was really good today. Decord was phenomenal. I didn't see Binghamton. And he's been bad all year, Binnington. He's not been good. Matthew Sklarov says, grumpy, respect Boston. They're better than you think. I just think they're very much like the Islanders. I think they have some injuries. I just don't think they're that good.
I think there's a member on the show that thought they were pretty good.
I know. I just don't think that they're that talented is all I'm saying. They fight. And when they get their guys back, they just got Elias Lindholm back. So that makes them better, bring these guys in. Flex Crew says, long time no see. Are you going to change the name of the show to the X and the Grumpy Old Man? No, probably not.
Yeah, probably not, just because I think we would have to create a new channel if we did that.
We don't want to do that.
So, yeah, it's okay. It is what it is.
Happy Thanksgiving, says Matthew DiBernardo.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I tried to make a couple of trades for Matthew Schaefer with Matthew DiBernardo. He's not biting X.
I wouldn't bite either. He's great.
I know.
Great
I want him. I'm not afraid to roll the dice. Matthew Sklar says, I was at the game on Saturday, expected the team to sag a little. The effort was there. Saturday was against St. Louis, was the St. Louis game.
Yeah, I don't think that it's the team doesn't try or hustle or, I just think they sometimes get outplayed or sometimes they just have bad breaks.
X, do you think at some point in time, though, that Matthew Schaefer runs into the wall, so to speak, with the amount of games and the travel and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I think, stamina and fitness wise, it kind of gets everyone where, he's going through a hot streak right now. He's playing really, really well. He's at the tip top of his game. Eventually players sometimes fall into a cold spell. It just happens to everyone.
I mean, what I mean, hit the wall. I mean, you kind of just, okay, I've never played this many games before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The
And
travel,
you wonder how him missing all of last year is going to affect his stamina this year. He might not be in shape for as many games because he didn't play it all last year, or much last year.
It's not about being in shape. You just kind of just get fatigued after a while from just the grind because he's never done it before.
That's what I mean by like in shape.
Oh, okay. Well, he's in shape. Kid's in shape.
I'm not saying the kid's not in shape, but okay. It's a little bit different, and I'll relate this to soccer. It's a little bit different. Like guys, when the games were down substantially 2, 3, 4 years ago, now they're playing 70 plus games a year. The guys sometimes run out of gas. It's called overload. It just happens. It eventually just happens to everyone. Everybody suffers from it,
and particularly
I think the fact that he didn't play last year can possibly affect that.
Well, I just think the fact that he's 18 and not used to the rigors of the NHL.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys who have been playing for years, they know how to condition their body to play the whole season and to be at top performance the whole season. He's fresh to it. He might not know how to do that yet, but I'm sure as he grows and he continues to play, he'll get better at that. As of now, he hasn't shown it. But again, I do agree with you. I think he will hit that. Yeah.
Okay.
Long story short,
that'll be yeah. Okay. So just yes, you'll think he'll.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising, and it wouldn't shake my faith in him at all either. It just happens. Just is what it is.
And you can't blame him. He's been the best player on the team by far this year.
Yeah, I mean, second is probably
Horvat. Yeah.
Then Sorokin, and
then
Sorokin's been great too.
I would say Barzal's been number 4.
Yeah,
Barzal's really stepped it up, and honestly, to me, I haven't noticed the injury to his leg affect this game.
Doesn't have the same speed. He doesn't have the same speed. I don't know if you knew this. Gavin McKenna's kind of. They're like,
we and you had a discussion about this, that he's been dropping on people's boards. He has not been performing very well, which is great news for us because I don't care. I would still take a fly. I'd still pick him up if he's available. Absolutely. Yep. Honestly, I'm like, I want him to start. What was it? Who was the guy in the NFL? I want him to start smoking out of the gas mask to drop
Laremy Tunsil. Tunsil.
Yeah, right. It's like I want him to pull Laremy Tunsil to drop picks and follow the aisles, right? So anything to get him.
Gungun says, Son X, now that you've mastered naming 5 Islanders captain, try this one on for size.
Oh,
who was the Islanders' first ever captain?
Gladly.
No. You're not going to get Eddie Westfall.
Eddie Westfall. I got to put that one up there.
And then when he retired, and it's funny, he retired, I think he was 34. I'm like, oh, man, he's old. Eddie Westfall retired. He was the color commentator for years with Jiggs McDonald. Matthew Sklar says he kicked it, but Schmidt tried to stop it. That's how the rules are. Yeah, I just think it's a bullshit rule. You shouldn't penalize someone for someone doing something illegal and him trying to stop it. That's no. And I feel that if the Islanders had one, okay. I think if the Islander fans would think differently if it was against the Islanders. And let's say a Stanley Cup final ended on a play like that, the rule would absolutely change. I think it's a bad rule. That's all I'm saying. Matthew Sklar says, Decord is an underrated goalie that nobody talks about. It's because he plays in Seattle. He's not great, but he's pretty good. Wickerman says, that was a bad loss. I don't know which game he's referring to.
Yeah, it was an earlier comment.
Okay. Sorry. Matthew says, Kid
had
a bad game tonight. I don't think he did.
He was the one who generated their only goal. He started off their only goal. He made the mess up on defense, which I will say it was his fault.
Okay, but he was making the pass and the guy hit his stick as he was doing it, which caused it to be a weak pass. But he's the only one who hustled back. Yeah. I'll say that. And here's another thing he did really well all night long. He went right through their 1-2-2 zone They even changed up their zone coverage during the game to try to stop him, and he just
generates opportunities.
He went through them like a hot knife through butter.
Yep.
I mean, to me, he did not have a bad game tonight.
I think I thought he played okay. He's played better. He's played better.
So in the third period, they carried the play. He put shots on net. I mean,
just couldn't finish.
He had one turnover.
Yep. Which led to a goal. But I mean, I think that's why it looks a little worse, is because it did lead to a goal. But
I don't even care.
Yeah.
He's 18. He's going to make mistakes. That's just part of growing up. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, right?
Secretly, we're like, thank you, because we ended up losing. So.
That's right. Finns, Knicks, Isles, and Mets says, I think this is Alexander.
It is Alexander.
It looks like Alexander. I mean, he's got a little bit of his face in that wonderful little baby he's holding.
Yep.
Hey, gents, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, tough loss today, but other than that, the Islanders team is very close to a breakout. I'm not going to say that yet. I'm not saying that yet. If they played through the road trip against those good teams like they did these last couple of games, I'd say yes.
Mm-hmm.
But against the good teams, they don't play particularly well. Gungu says Islanders are back to their old trademark, letting up a goal immediately after scoring.
Minute and 23 seconds, I think is what it was.
Do I hear Dog Z snoring?
Dog Z's underneath me. I don't think he is snoring. Here, I can put the mic down there.
Well, last thing we want to hear is a snoring dog.
I don't think he's snoring, though.
Okay. Wickerman says they can't or don't score. They're offensively the same team they've been for the last number of years.
I don't think it's that they don't score. I think it's they can't score. I don't think they can put the puck in the net. Put the puck in the net right now.
They're the same team on the ice that they've been for the last number of years. The same personnel.
With the exception of Schaefer.
Right. But I mean, on the forward group, the same.
I mean, he's offensively very good, though.
And Horvat is what, 30? Barzell, 28. It's not like these guys
was on a hot streak. He's cooling down now.
Yeah, but my point is that they're not. It's not like these guys are going to be taking their games for the most part to the next level.
No, you're not seeing a crazy jump in the guys on offense. You're just not.
Right. You could say the guys who could take a step up would be maybe a Henneman, Holmstrom, just because of their age. Holmstrom been pretty invisible this year. I think
Callum Ritchie could throughout the year.
Yeah, I just don't think Callum Ritchie
into the season.
Yeah, but I just don't think he's ready yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's a guy who could. He's a guy who could take a jump up.
Yeah,
we're talking about possibilities, right?
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's not up. I know I'm sounding like a broken record. It's not about this year for me. It's about
the future,
next year and the year after and beyond. Yep. I want a team that is going to be a team that, man, we're in the hunt every single year. We're at the top, and we don't do it because, wow, we have to, we got to get a break here, or our goaltender's got to stand on his head every night. No, I want it where the team is so good.
Or it's a fluke if they lose.
That you're surprised when they lose games.
Yep.
That's what I want. I mean, we have the goaltender. We have the generational talent on defense. Yep. We need somebody up top.
Yep.
Wickerman says a little of a bad hit. Probably talking about Rantanen. It just looked a lot worse. I think it looked.
I think he extended the arms.
Okay. I don't think there was deliberate intent to injure on that play. That's what
I don't think it was deliberate intent. I never said that it was. That said, he did not need to extend his arms.
Well, like I said, you got to remember going full speed, man, oh man. It's easy to say. You're there, you're protecting yourself, first of all, when you're coming in and getting tripped and getting hooked as you're coming in. You're trying to protect yourself. I mean, like I said, the league felt the same way I do.
I mean, if you're doing that, though, and you're going full speed, wouldn't you think your first instinct would be to maybe turn? Would be to turn.
He did turn. He turned to the side, and he had his stick on him, and he did hit him, but he had his stick. He went down too. He went down as well. It's not like he didn't go down either. Flex Crew says, I personally think that a kick and goal should count always as long as it's outside the grid. Absolutely not. No. It was exaggerated. I don't know. Kick and goals are a no for me. Flex Crew says it's weird. The Islanders seem to win games that get outplayed it and lose the ones that they dominate.
I was about to say the same. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. But like I said, they're getting outplayed. It's not like, oh, okay, we came out flat against a bad team. We're getting outplayed by the good teams, which you'd expect. I think
we're getting wins.
There's more jump with the team this year. And I'm not going to, it's not Patrick Waugh because he's been here, 2.5 years now? It's not Patrick Waugh. It's 48. That's the reason. Matthew Sklar says, Grump, when you reach your arms out the way Rantanen did and push the guy further in, that's a dirty play. He did a worse hit on Coronado. I don't care about something else he did somewhere else.
I will say, I will say this. I find there's been multiple occurrences over the last couple of weeks that have involved him with some form of a cheap shot hit.
The shot on Romanov was not a cheap shot. I'm sorry, it just wasn't. It wasn't.
He was absolutely tripped into Romanov by Mayfield. Definitely was. Not arguing that at all, which initiated the contact. That said, I don't think he needed to extend his arms, and that's where I'll end it off.
Okay.
I don't think he needed to extend his arms on it, which he did, which inevitably ended up Romanov got hurt.
Okay, I'm just going to say that I didn't think it was a dirty hit, and neither did the NHL. Alexander says, sorry, gents, Rantanen is a piece of garbage, and also that was clearly goalie interference. No, he was pushed into the goalie.
The contact was initiated by Pulak there.
So I don't care.
I really
gave us 2 points.
Yeah, I really, because if it was the other way around,
you'd be complaining.
Exactly, because the contact was initiated by the defenseman. It was.
You'd be complaining. That's all I'm going to say. Just put your shoe on the other foot. How would you be reacting? Take the L here, old man.
I'd be losing my mind. I would be losing my mind if that happened. That's all. I'll just say that.
Yeah. He did extend and pushed him 100%, says Joe TV. I disagree.
I think he extended. I don't think the extension was necessary. I don't.
I just think it's real easy to say that when you're not on the ice and getting hooked and tripped from behind. That's all.
And I agree with you. I think he was absolutely tripped. I just don't think the extension was necessary.
He was not intending to injure him. I firmly believe that.
I definitely think he meant to put him in the boards. I don't think he meant to put him in the boards as hard as he did, though. I don't think he meant to do that.
Well,
he was not looking to say, hey, let's go ahead and absolutely destroy Romanov's shoulder. I don't think he was trying to do that. I think he saw he saw he was coming near him. He's like, yeah, back off, get away, pushed. And which he didn't need to do. He did not need to do that. I think you gotta look at your bearings and be like, okay, the situation I'm in here, I can really, really hurt this guy.
Now, all I'll say is Patrick Waugh was losing his mind.
He said you are effed. I think he said the next time you're in Long Island, we're gonna F you up or something like that. Is what he said.
Here's the thing. You realize Romanov does that shit all the time. Running guys late from behind. All the time he does it.
You know what I will say? I will be very interested.
And he actually
to see
did
the
it
next
in
game.
that game. He did that as well to somebody else.
I will be very interested to see the next game and see what happens. Do you think, now let me ask you this, do you think a fight starts immediately at puck drop? No. Do you think there will be fights during that game?
No.
Wow, no.
Nope. Okay, so you're just willing to mail in 2-point loss to Dallas then? Is that what you want to do? In March? I'm going to say no. I'll say no to that.
Got to have your players' backs.
He's not Schaefer. And the retribution has to be immediate. Matthew Sklar says the fact the league didn't look at this hit and suspend him 2 games and a fine is absurd. No, they looked at it. They looked at it and see who's interfered with.
I don't think it was intent to injure.
It was not.
I don't think it was intent to injure. I don't think he was processing his head, be like, okay, I can really smoke this guy. I can really blow his shoulder out. I don't think he was thinking that. I think he was getting tripped into him, but at the same point in time, there's no need for him to extend his arms. There wasn't. And I think it was just the fact of the way he fell into the boards.
It looked
the
really
timing
bad.
of when he got there is what caused the injury.
And he was far away.
I think he absolutely meant to hit him. I definitely think he meant to hit him. I think he meant to hit him. I don't think he meant to injure him, though. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right, let's go. Move on. Matthew
Frank
says
the Tank
Frank
the
the Tank
Jinx.
is a jinx.
That he
Very
is.
true. Wickerman says not really. He went into him. Okay.
Talking about the interference.
Matthew Sklar says when you enter the crease at your own accord and make contact with the goalie, that's going to be called every time. He wasn't even in the crease when he was hit. He was pushed into him.
Yeah, he was hit into him.
He was pushed into him.
Yeah.
Wickerman says he hit the goalie, but it wasn't necessarily pushed into him. Physical contact pushed him into the goalie. I've seen that call turn the other way.
If Pulak doesn't touch him and that happens, absolutely it's interference. But Pulak did.
Wasteland of Destroyed says that was the correct call. The push by Pellick is irrelevant. The onus is on Robertson to avoid the contact even when pushed. No, it's one of the agenda of the goaltender interference rule. No, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. That's all right. Matthew, again, Pulak made minimal contact, not enough to say, but he contacted him. He did. He pushed him towards the goalie. If the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be complaining. That's all I'm saying. I've seen it go the other way 100 times, not called because of the contact with the guy. I've seen it benefit the Islanders when we were getting pushed into the net and they said, no, it was pushed from the defenseman. This year it's happened. It just, again, so many of these rules are just, let's just go to the standard, like when they used to have no skates in the crease. How about we go back to that? Then, you're not even having
you don't have to worry about it.
Then you don't have to worry about it. Wickerman says D'Angelo made S to play. I don't know what that means.
Made some plays, maybe. So made some plays.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know. Wickerman says Schaefer and Barzell are good together.
I agree.
Yeah, because they're both exceptional talents.
Yep, I agree.
Imperial Rising says, good evening, gentlemen. Congratulations, Sun X. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Craig, the regular human bartender, says our record is not indicative of our finish. I love being in a playoff spot, but selling Lee and JGP is paramount.
Agreed.
Any win we get is gravy. Yeah, I don't want to see them because I think Darsh realizes, you know what, this team needs a rebuild. We need more young talent.
You're hoping he realizes that.
I'm hoping. I'm okay. You have to realize that from where the team's been the last couple of years.
Yep.
Don't just say, oh, well, we got a whole bunch of old pieces of shit who've never been winners ever. And we got one
Let's
kid.
just run it back. Let's just run it back because we have the one kid. No. Let's turn the page. Yep.
Let's do a full turn the page.
New beginning. New GM. New culture.
I can honestly say there is no one of the veterans on this team right now that I would even consider re-signing. Not a one. I'm talking about any of the older players. I'm not talking Schaefer, of course. I mean, Pellick, Pulak. For the right deal, I'd move them. Mayfield, see you later. D'Angelo, bye-bye. You get me a second-round pick. See you later.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody. Wickerman says Oilers goalie isn't that good either.
Yeah, when we talk about the Oilers defense, their goalie, I think that's the big hole that they have. No keep.
Wickerman also adds the Islanders need more offense. Well, it's
absolutely.
It's the same offensive team they've had. They've added Drouin.
You're going to say it's the same issue year in, year out. Same problem.
Yeah.
They don't have guys who could score.
They don't have high-end talent on the team. They just don't. A couple guys. That's it. The sports guy, 24, says, don't forget to mention what Wass said to Dallas player after that.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that earlier. He also adds, don't forget that Wass said, yes, we just spoke of that. Matthew Sklar says, here's the thing, though. We're finally a fun team to watch. Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. Exciting.
Every time Matthew Schaefer's on the ice, I want him to score.
Yep. And I think and now we haven't been to a game, but I have a feeling the fan base probably stands up or gets excited when he's out there.
I think you hear the crowd.
Yep.
Oh, like when he gets hit, the crowd's like, hey!
You heard the crowd tonight. Who is it?
I love that. I love that.
He's
so good, dude. He's so good.
But you heard the crowd tonight, like dropping the Boo Birds.
Oh, well, they have a new favorite player on the team. Zadorev. Man,
Yep.
they didn't forget. They didn't forget when he
Nope.
he jacked them up.
They made sure he knew. I think they said it was a sellout crowd tonight too.
I'm not surprised.
Yep.
I mean, people want to see that kid play.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they also want to see
He's a number one attraction in town.
Zadorov was kind of gooning up a little bit. And, people forget he's a big, tough guy. So the Islanders didn't really want a piece of him. They didn't want a piece of him. And every time he touched the puck, he got booed, and he laid a check on somebody. Boston was physical today. They were. They didn't deserve the win, but they were certainly physical today. I'll give them that. Freedom Fund Event says, did Sunnex get a chance to celebrate, or did Brad Marchand show up and cause his heart to break? Congrats to you and the former fiance Y, now wife Y, capital Y.
Wifey,
give us the crying report. Did you cry?
Oh yeah, I did.
He was getting a little weepy.
I definitely did.
I absolutely cried during our rehearsal dinner speech.
Yep.
Absolutely, I did. Did anybody else cry during that besides me?
I don't know.
The warden did.
I wasn't paying attention to other people. I was looking at you while you were doing it. So
did you get weepy?
No, I don't. I mean, I got a little emotional, but no, I didn't cry.
Okay. Matthew Sklar says Bennington stoned us pretty good. Yep, didn't see the game against it. McAvoy is pretty good. Yeah, he's out right now. Freedom Fund Adventure says Freedom is here to drop some insight. The Islanders have played repeated matches versus two teams they indicated that they would send messages to and get payback. Detroit and Boston, they didn't even try. Both teams seem emboldened. Well, they don't get a chance to face Boston again the rest of the year. Went 0-3 against them.
Yikes. Boston's good, like I said.
Freedom Fund Adventure adds, I don't care if the Islanders are still firmly in the playoff hunt as the season goes on. The Islanders still must trade all the guys that we know they should, 27, 40, 44, etc., and then a few others, 77, 34, 11, 10, 7, etc. You can't trade everybody. Get
rid of them all.
Matthew Slurp says, Rasmus Anderson, if he's a UFA.
How about picking him up?
Here's the thing. If you're talking about signing UFAs, I'm fine with that. I don't want guys who are in their 30s, though. Let's try to, again, like if you're making a deal where you're willing to move first-round draft pick, you have to get a stud young guy. But teams really don't trade those guys. There's reasons why they're good and they're young. They don't just give them away.
No.
I mean, Freedom Fund
unless you're the Islanders.
Freedom Fund Adventure. Does anyone know the answer to this question? What is the one question Grumpy and the Warden asked SunX at least once per week? I will answer it in another comment.
Do you want me to pull up that other comment?
Sure, pull up that comment. Oh, shit. The answer is Grumpy and the Warden asked SunX, paper or plastic when bagging up all the groceries X is taking from their home. He takes
grocery shopping. Just grocery shopping, that's all.
He comes in. I can't tell you. Sometimes just 5 minutes, and all of a sudden he leaves with a bunch of drinks and snacks. I'm like, what the hell? I keep saying to Warden, why do you buy this shit? Nobody in this house drinks it. Well,
I do. Oh, don't hate the player, Grumpy. Hate the game.
Freedom Fun Adventure says, Grumpy, no way am I trading Aitchison and a pick for Pedersen or Thompson. No way. But your premise of acquiring guys who fit now in the future in place of Lee, Pajot, Sezikis, D'Angelo, Pellick, etc., I would do that. Here's the thing. I'm just looking at Aitchison, and I was so underwhelmed with – I loved the film in juniors, Man Among Boys, but he looked tiny against – in the NHL
in preseason, what you're talking about, preseason
he's
games.
Not going to be able. He's a left shot defenseman. Okay, where does he fit? The whole. What I'm saying. Sometimes you have to give something that hurts a little bit to get something that you really need. And he's not. He's a couple of years away from playing on this team. So you can always reload and get other defensemen.
Yeah.
A lot of his goals, he scores a lot of goals. He's standing in front of the net. Well, that's not going to be the case in the NHL. He's not, first of all, he's not that big.
Yet.
Well, he's a grown-ass man. He's not a boy. You look at him, he's put together. He's just
weight-wise, he could still put on some weight.
what, maybe another 5 pounds. He's cut the ribbons. He's a man. He's not a boy. He's a man. And he's not real tall. Like I said, and he's looked good in juniors this year. Really good. He's going to be 20 before the end of the year. Or 19. I think he's 19 now. I mean, don't know. Jimmy O'Rourke says, maybe playing like Grandpa from the Munsters. You ever seen the Munsters?
Mayfield playing like Grandpa.
Mayfield playing like Grandpa from Munsters. You ever seen the Munsters, X?
I think I have like one time a really long time ago.
That was a funny show. It used to be on WPIX Channel 11 every afternoon from school. The Munsters, I Dream of Jeannie, all those type shows. They were fun. Man, you've seen every one of the episodes. It seemed like the show was on for 50 years, but it wasn't. I think it was only
just reruns.
2 or 3 years, and they just, every day
reruns.
They play an episode a day. And oh yeah, man, that was great. Brett Wayner says, "Son X wants your respect, Grumpy. He's smart.
Smart. That's right.
He's smart.
Respect."
Freedom Fund Adventure says, recently YouTube suggested some of your early episodes of the show. Man, TJ and Grumpy hated each other. That was prime Grumpy. I saw Doc Page and see why you love her. She couldn't stump Grump with high key and lab.
I think he said why you fired her.
Oh, why I fired her. Sorry.
Yeah.
She couldn't stump Grump with high key and lab. Fleet Dreams 33 says, happy Thanksgiving to all 3 of you guys from the West Coast of Canada. Congratulations, Sonex, on your wedding.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, maintain had complete lack of respect for Romanoff and the other player. He did a dirty hit on after Romanoff, which led to the suspension. Need a space punch, but at the moment, Islanders can't start stuff with anyone. Here's the thing. You notice Mayfield didn't even jump Rantanen. You want to know why? Because he knew that he was the one who shoved him into him.
He did to an extent. He did to an extent. If you watch the video, he does jump on him. He absolutely does.
Not really.
He does. Really. Okay, not like when Schaefer got run.
That's true.
But he absolutely jumps on him
but
a little
maybe
bit.
He said, maybe, it was like, that Louis C.K. bit when he says, I'm not saying, that kids who have peanut allergies deserve to die, but maybe, something like that. Like the Islanders are better without Romanoff. I'm just saying, maybe. Okay. And then Freedom Fund Adventure adds, as someone who played goalie, the
Dallas player
was not pushed into the Islanders goalie. Dallas' entire night was slew footing, both dirty Rantanen hit and the goalie interference. Dallas desperate trying to do something. Now, that I will agree with. That I'll absolutely agree. They were absolutely, you're going to get that extra mile because they outplayed the Islanders and they were down 3-1. That after that Horvat goal, the Islanders kind of dominated play for about the next 5 minutes. I don't think that Dallas could believe that they were losing to that Islander team. And then they righted the ship. I turned it off with 5 minutes to go. I'm like, this one's over. I'll watch something else. And then all of a sudden I'm like, bada-bing, 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 go. I'm like, I better put it back on. I was still DVRing it, but I didn't, I didn't watch it. X-Pun says, yes, Grump, stay out of my crease. LOL. Okay. David Johnson says, congratulations, son X and daughter-in-law. Why?
Thank you.
Wasteland is destroyed if an attacking player has been pushed, shoved, or fouled by the defending player so as to cause him to come into contact with goalie. Such contact will not be deemed contact initiated by the attacking player for purposes of the rule, providing the attacking player has made a reasonable effort to avoid such contact. He was hit from behind. He didn't know he was coming. He was hit from behind. Here's the thing. I don't think it should have been overturned, is what I'll say. If it was called on the ice as interference, let it go.
Yep.
I don't think it should have been overturned. It's the overturning of things that I'm like,
you have the issue with.
Again, I'm just about had it.
I hate instant replay.
I've had it with instant replay. I admit it.
There it is.
Replay.
There it is. Oh, back to DraftKings. Yeah, if you want to make a bet, that'll definitely stick Grumpy to bitch about instant replay.
There you go. That's absolutely. Now that's your $5
right
turn it to 200 for certain.
Yeah. Yep.
JP says, congratulations to you and your family, X. I was at the game tonight. Swayman was standing on his head, couldn't beat him with a cannon.
Yep. Thank you so much.
I think that they were good. I thought that the Islanders played well in the third period, but I thought Boston, for their part, did a really good job of limiting a whole lot of high danger chances,
especially in
I'll
the
put it
middle.
like that.
Yep.
I mean, we absolutely dominated play, but they did a nice job of eliminating high danger chances. And you could say the same thing about the Dallas game and the Islanders. I thought early in the game, Dallas, the whole game was played in the Islanders zone. I don't even think they had the Zamboni, the ice in Dallas's end for the first 2 periods. But the Islanders did a nice job not giving up high danger chances. They were a lot of stuff from the outside.
Yep.
JP said Boston did look good. They looked all right. Freedom Fun Adventure says, heads up, Grumpy. TJ's going to barge into your house tomorrow and toss you little baby in an attempt to distract you to hoard the food. Don't let that baby distract you. Get your food before it's too late. Here's the thing. That little baby do anything she wants when she comes here. You know what I do every day, X?
What do you do?
When I pick her up from school, I give her 2 little bags of little fruities on the way home, like little, little fruit chews, whatever they are.
Sorry. Yes, I do know what you do. Yeah.
And she comes into the house. You know the first thing she does?
She
She
eats
bangs on
ice
the door.
cream.
She says, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream.
God.
And I
All
give her
right,
a little
Grumpy.
ice cream cone every day.
Anything-
And she's got her chair. I have a little chair set up for her. I set it up before we leave. And if the chair's not there, she freaks out. I said, don't worry. So God. She runs and she looks for the chair. And because she needs to have a little chair there. And I feed her the ice cream cone. And I give her little smoochies. That's what I do.
Last comment here, Grumpy.
Freedom Fun Adventure says, Boston used their physicality to force the Islanders to the perimeter, thus limiting quality scoring chances. Exactly. That's what they did today. Still a lot of shots on goal, but still, I agree. I agree.
Anything you want to say before we hop off?
Yeah,
tonight,
I
Grumpy?
want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone who watches the show. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, and love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From Son X and the Grampy Old Man. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great day watching football tomorrow using DraftKings. Let's go Dallas Cowboys over those Chiefs. What do you think?
Yeah, over the cheating Chiefs. That's correct. And I want to thank everybody for coming out, listening to the show as always. Love the interaction, the comments. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Enjoy time with your families tomorrow, and we will see you guys
Next
next time. Thanks, Grumpy. Thanks, everybody.
My pleasure.